What is up, everybody?
Word.
How's it going? That
So
intro was so cool.
we
Yes,
are,
I gotta get us to get a little musical intro. What's up, Geppetto?
dude.
Welcome
I
back.
I have another one that's got like a much different intro. That was our older one, but I still use that one too. I've got a couple different intros that I've been screwing with. What's
It's
up,
really
Adita?
8-bit.
What's up,
Sounds
Geppetto's
like that.
Lab?
What's up, Royals here? What's going on,
Dude,
Royal?
Geppetto's Lab. Happy birthday, Frank. Frank's birthday, or was yesterday, maybe.
The intro almost sounds like the opposite tone of going down the Mario tube.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, it does, and that's one of the random like free copyright free downloads or whatever it is.
Hey, I think
So
it's cool. It caught
I
my
like
attention.
it, right? It's just loud. I want to adjust the volume on it because it's super loud. But
So what do you
yeah,
guys got planned for tonight? It looked like you were working on a build there.
who, me?
Yeah, your head's down like you were working on
Oh
something.
no, I'm destroying a GoPro. That's all. I've been wanting to make this GoPro Hero 7 naked for a long time. Because I shattered the lens and I broke it pretty bad, and then tried to get it fixed, and it just wasn't up to Best Buy's repair warranty anymore.
Yeah. Sorry
So,
about that, James. Yeah, Keegan was having a little problem with his audio, and
what's
then
up,
we left
John? How you
for 5
doing?
minutes after we got it fixed. So
I was having a
James said
big
he was
problem.
going to try and take a nap.
Vitrifly's in the house. What's up, John
Hey,
Waldy? Hey,
Vertify. What's up, brother?
Crazy Jimmy.
John Waldy's actually the one who just bought the batteries for my GoPro Hero 7. So,
Nice.
how you doing, John? I'm getting those in the mail for you tomorrow. Trying to get the lens cover off while I naked this thing up. I got a couple builds going, but I just don't have any parts left. I got rid of a lot of my parts a little while ago.
I find I'm like that too. I'm like the community share parts with all your friends and then you have nothing left.
Yeah, I got like I had
Yeah,
like
but I'm
30.
also the community guy I used to buy so many spare. Oh, that'd be perfect for this build. That'd be perfect for this build, and then, ooh, but this would be even better for that build after I've already got all the parts to do the build. And it's like, and you end up with
Yeah,
like way too many parts and a bunch of mismatched stuff. I mean, I've got enough. I need to do some builds. I've got enough parts here to do probably 3 or 4 micro builds at least.
yeah,
At
and
least
that was
one
my
hexagon.
issue because I would repair people's drones, so they'd send me like their tiny whoops or whatever, and I'd fix them. I'd replace all the motors or whatever, and usually instead of like if they were broke or something and just needed a quick repair, I'd be like, sure, trade me whatever old gear you got. I don't care. Like,
Yeah.
and so they'd send me a bunch of random spare parts, and I'd fix their drone. Well, over fucking 5 years or so of doing this, that accrued into just shelves and shelves and shelves of random fucking spare parts. So every now and again, I just go through, build what I can out of Frankenstein parts, and then just like either do some sales or just send off a bunch of drones or do giveaways or whatever, like just
I
try to get
find
rid of some of the downsizing shit.
Have you guys ever been in the position probably too where I'm not gonna put the friend out there, but some
No.
friends when you get them into the hobby, they end up breaking almost everything they
Oh
have.
yeah.
And
Oh,
then you
100.
feel like you're responsible for them breaking it, so you're like, "Oh, dude, let me take it. I'll fix it up."
Yep, yep.
And then
And
like a day later, it happens again, and then you're like, "Uh-oh, this is gonna be like a deja vu kind of situation."
right. And yeah, I've had a few of those, and to be honest, like I don't mind, and I've got a lot of friends that I fly with regularly that come by when they crash their shit, and they're like, I need help fixing this, and I'm like, okay. Um, Usually it's just fun. What's up, Todd? Todd, how you doing? Um, but like Crazy Jimmy's a regular, not only customer of mine, but good friend. He's over at my house all the time, flying and getting repairs done. And usually when I'm repairing shit, he's out flying in my yard. So it's like I love doing that, but I also do that for somewhat of a living sometimes. If people
Yeah.
need a bunch of builds done or something, then yeah, I charge them. Yeah, and he lives like an hour and a half to 3 hours away, depending on where he's coming from.
So it's a bit of a journey.
So William Perry, from the owner of Racer X, says 2120 kV on 5S is epic. I'm running 2150 kV on 5S now.
Hey, William, that's awesome. But I will tell you that Gil Coronado used to race on 2200 kV on 5S when everybody else was on 4S.
That's true.
Yes.
And everybody used to look at him like he was weird.
Right?
But I mean, hey, yeah, it's freaking. I agree, it's nuts, and I've seen people whooping ass on it. So,
What's up, Blizzard? How you doing, man? So for those who
how's it
don't
going?
know, Keagan is the head man on the new Dad motors. And now, remind me who makes those?
ZT Innovate.
ZT
the manufacturer.
Innovate. That's it. They're pretty new, aren't they?
Yeah, so there's a history behind the manufacturer. Like they've been in the CNC and like anodizing and all that kind of stuff for quite some time.
Yeah.
I think they just recently have dipped their hands more into the motors, but their approach on how they did it was a way better approach than how I'm not going to dip any companies into the acid or into the lava, you know what I mean, and say that nobody else is good. But I think a lot of companies try to skimp out in the beginning, like try to lower the material quality to offer a lower price, right?
Yeah.
Or even in some cases offer low material motors for a very high price just because somebody's name's on it, right? And I don't think that it should cost more necessarily just because somebody's name is on it, right?
well, no, I mean it doesn't. But the motor manufacturers don't want to make less money on motors, and they have to give money to that person for the name. But yeah, I totally agree. But the pilot's got to get something, and you know that the manufacturer is not going to make less.
That's true. In this
So,
case, I'll be completely honest. I took less for the fact that I wanted this motor to get out there. We gave away probably, I'd say 22 sets of motors
Nice.
as soon as they came out right away just to get the motors out there. Because it was more something, that's what my concern was, not how much money I was going to make off of it, but how many pilots were actually enjoying them and saying like these motors were worth the process, you know what I mean?
Right, and Matt's very much like that with his frames. When he's trying to test something or when he's trying to get it out there, he gives a lot of them away. Like he's like, try my frame.
yeah, I looked at my numbers. I've given away more frames than I've sold this year. So
right, and that's the thing.
my tax lady's going to hate me if I don't sell some frames soon.
but that's also how you get things tested and how you get the feedback and how you get all that and how you get the name out there. So
Yeah.
like it's what you got to do, but it also bites your wallet too.
Oh, a little bit, yeah. So that's why initially off the start I wanted to give them away. Like I wanted to get them out there first, and I had to understand the fact that I'm a Canadian pilot in a generally
Yeah.
American hobby, and I can't expect like my channel compared to a lot of American pilots who have way more exposure to that atmosphere or whatever. It's a lot easier for you guys to possibly reach out to the bigger groups and get to the bigger events and stuff like that, right? Where me, it's going to cost me quite the trip and go across the border and everything else, right?
Across the border. Yeah, that's it depends on where you are in Canada too, because Canada's a big freaking place.
You're in Ontario, aren't you?
Yes, sir. I'm about an hour 45 minutes from Toronto.
Okay, whereabouts are you up near? You're just past Innisville, then, aren't you?
I'm in Trenton. So to
Okay.
give you an idea, my town has the biggest air base, military air base in all of Canada.
Yep.
So for me to go fly, I have to make sure I'm at least like 5 nautical miles away from the air base, which is like
Dude,
7 kilometers.
dude, I live in Virginia, right in between Norfolk, Langley, Camp Peary. I know the feeling.
It's a dedication thing. In the beginning, I stuck with the tiny whoops because I knew the process of getting my advanced license and commercial license. It was gonna be the only way I could fly a 5 inch living in this area. So
Yeah,
it was a time game, like it was just waiting game, right?
and so you're in Trenton.
What's up, guys?
One, I've mentioned this to you before. I grew up in Toronto and like Innisville area, but I also spent a decade in the film industry out there, and I was key grip gaffer, stunt coordinator, the works. So I was working very closely with a lot of directors of photography, and a
That's
lot of them
awesome.
have been reaching out to me recently about FPV and getting FPV pilots for commercials and features and all that stuff. And a lot of those are in Toronto, in the good old Hollywood North. But
Yeah,
we recently crewed one up for one of the Toronto DOPs that I know in Texas, and we've I've got another DOP that's been hitting me up for something in Vermont. So I have directors of photography from my past hitting me up a lot because they've been seeing like the FPV world in action and the cinematography side of that.
yeah.
And I'm going to be sending you or getting you in touch with a few of them in the very near future.
Ooh, well, that would be crazy, brother. I'd really
You,
appreciate that.
you and whoever your normal fly crew guys are, I'll try and see what I can hook up for that because I know they've got a lot of things going on. Even with all the bullshit shutdowns, the film industry guys are still working.
Yeah.
So, um, and I was very very tied in with that community for almost a decade, as I said.
Don't you
So,
miss the cold weather out here, though?
dear God, yes. I'm
You
wearing
do? I was
shorts
gonna
in
say I
Virginia
don't.
in the middle of winter, man. Like it's
It's
nothing
already
here.
freezing, bro. I wake up already in the morning and it's 5 degrees outside.
Oh damn.
Yeah, my parents were just up and they just closed up the cottage up in Barrie, and it was my mom said it was kind of cold, but nothing too crazy. I've had winters up there where the entire house was covered in snow, like from like you couldn't see where the house started. So
Hey,
what's up,
Tudo's in
Prop
the
Top?
house.
Yeah,
But
I'm from Michigan, so I've woken up being
oh
trapped in the
yeah,
house because you've got a screen door that's just snowed in, and of course the screen door is open outwards, and you can't push it out with there's snow there, so you got to dig your way out from the back of the garage and walk around.
Oh yeah, it
dude,
gets bad out here like that too.
you remember the ice storm 9 years ago, right?
In Canada?
Yeah, and
Oh, like the
in
black ice storm, yeah.
yeah, where it was just everything was coated with like at least 20 centimeters of fucking
I
ice.
remember it.
Dude, I was working at Mount St.
20
Louis.
centimeters is 8 inches for you American people.
Yes, exactly. But I was working at Mount St. Louis, and I had my Toyota Matrix parked there. And by the time I got off work, we literally pulled a emblem off of my truck or off of my car this thick, literally this thick, like just of solid ice of the Toyota symbol. I was
Oh, it
like,
just came off
that's
as one
great.
piece.
Oh yeah, just one solid hood piece, and we ended up putting it in the staff freezer. It was amazing.
The
Um,
likeliness of that, eh?
dude, I was so careful not to like let it break. I was like, I don't want this to break. This is so perfect. But that was chaos. Quebec got just hit hard. Um, but yeah, man, I was there for the big blackout way back in the day.
These comments are killing me. I'm trying so hard to keep my composure right now, but I'm seeing the comments dropping in right now.
Oh yeah.
Someone asked if porn counted as the film industry.
Yeah.
my old porn name, Harley V Rod, right there.
Oh my.
I wish. Dude, that would have been a much more interesting film industry.
Optimized wiener.
Right? Sometimes it's just gotta optimize. I don't know.
What could that mean necessarily?
But Isaac has a Street League Facebook group. Yeah. And
You
guys,
like my ghetto PVC race gate I made?
yes, I always love intuitive race gates, man. Or inventive, sorry. But
I liked it without the tubes on it because it was a bit like you could go through it faster with a larger drone. But my son keeps destroying all the tiny whoops, just smoking it like full speed. So the PVC was not working.
dude, I've been using the Tiny Whoop Cube Gate as well as like the newbie drone balloon gates and shit. And they're great. I love those because I have not popped one yet, other than with a 5-inch. I tried to put a 5-inch through one.
Well,
Who is it that makes those huge PVC gates with the LEDs through them?
We Bleed FPV.
Those things are sick. I've seen so
Bleed
many
and
videos
Tiny
of those
Whoop.
set up.
I think the ones that We Bleed makes are pretty much the same as the Tiny Whoop cubes, but they are filled with LEDs. So
Oh, those are like the
Tiny
beta
Whoop cube-
ones I have back there, right?
Yeah. So here's the Tiny Whoop cube.
Oh, mine's not like that though. Mine only circles. That's sweet.
Oh yeah, and this one unzips to be a big ladder too. Like you can make it a double or whatever.
Oh, that's cool.
So, this is the cube gate from Tiny Whoop. Like it's a fair size. Like I'm a big dude, so but it the We Bleed guys, they put LEDs in this sort of a gate. And it's wicked.
There
Like
they
this?
are. That's a sick setup. I wish I could
Oh,
just
yeah.
throw that
Scooter,
right in the
just
middle of
make
my
it like
living room.
And so the WeBleedFPV.com guys, hit them up. Jeff Grabowski's an affiliate of ours. We love him to death. And he's We Bleed FPV is a one-man show. Just FYI. It's just him. So
That's crazy.
dude, he steps up. He does all Tiny Whoop gear. I got my jumper from him, man.
Did you guys see those 28,000 kV motors? Is that even real life?
Yes.
Yes.
Those are
28,000.
Those are the We Bleed motors.
I'm sticking at 22,000, and
I need those. I need those in my life right now.
Dude, I can make
the
a call.
07. They got 0702s now too. Yeah.
That doesn't
Dude,
even like
Jeff
the
is-
highest I've
Jeff-
heard was most common. The highest I've heard was 22,000, maybe 24, but 28 is like that's got to be
I did-
ballistic.
So Matt remembers my original Renegade Whoop, which is now owned by Michael Rollins. But that one was the Tiny Whoop Danger onesies, and they were 25,000 kV. And my God, that thing was fucking fun.
Oh, it's probably fast as hell.
Dude, it was. And I even got a bunch of videos of me just ripping it in my yard, like full acro and everything. And it did great. Like you could power loop the shit out of it, no problem. But I did crank myself in the nuts trying to fly between my legs a few times at like full speed, so that was not as fun. But yeah, we
30,000 on whoops.
30,000. Jesus Christ.
That is insane.
But Dan is also winning freaking 5S races with his little 2S freaking
Dude.
1S.
Oh, he's running that on 2S?
1S.
Yeah,
Whoop. No,
he's
he's got a 2S whoop, but he's got a he's running 1S whoops in a 5-inch race and
Dude,
coming
do
in
you
and
have
hitting on the
that
podium.
video? 'Cause he posted a video about it, and it was like my 2S beat 3 5-inch drones in a race.
That's incredible.
I was like, dear God.
Can you imagine if he was running 20 or 30,000 on 2S?
dear God, that would be fucking what? 180
Speed of
RPM?
light.
Yeah, that would be 180,000 RPM or something like that.
These guys are killing me right
think
now.
about that, man. That's
Me too.
7.4 volts, and each kV is per volt.
Oh, that's true. So, yeah, way too much for me to do the
So
math
running
for
at
right now, but
8 volts
dangerous.
or whatever, dear God, that's like 180,000 fucking RPM.
That's my next OnlyFans idea. It's OnlyFans, but it's me flying FPV around a strip club.
Tiny. Where can a tiny whoop fit?
I have to see if Deep Six Designs has any tiny whoop packages.
Oh yeah, so William Perry's waiting for Dan to build a whoop from his mini Twiglet and Twiglet frames. Those are supposed to be awesome too. I've seen a couple pictures. So let's see. Matt, can you pull up some pictures of the dad motors? Because I'm a dad of 4, and I've always been like the dad of whenever I'm flying, whichever group I'm flying, I've always been the dad. Like, so having dad motors just intrigues me. I don't even care how good they are. I'm just gonna like baby that and be like, this is my dad rig. Make like a super heavy rig just to cruise, you know?
we just completely recently sold out on stock on the website of all the motors we had for blue.
Nice.
And we're doing a whole new batch of red right now.
Nice.
So we'll see how that goes. Blue seems to be the popular color on the website right now. Everyone's loving that blue.
When are you doing purple and green, man? Those are my colors.
Yeah, we're definitely I'm not going to release too much information, but in the next month or two, there's going to be a whole bunch of stuff that's going to drop. That's going to be some head turners, that's for sure.
And do you have a specific website link? If you do, share it with Matt and he can post it up.
Yep, I'll send it to him right now. But it's ztinnovate.net.
Awesome. And they've got a lot of stuff. I was looking at their website a little while ago, I think. They've got a lot of different things in the works, don't they?
Yes, sir. So I had recently spoken to him probably close to a year ago about working with them and probably being like an ambassador for the company, but nothing came about it, right? And then a year later, he reached out to me and said, I've got a project and I'd like to work with you on it. Would you like to do this? And I practically had an asthma attack because I didn't think it was real life. I'm like, is this guy serious? Like, like my own motor? Is this real? Like,
you said ctinnovate.net?
ZT.
What is it?
ZT.
ZT. That's why it wasn't coming up.
And he didn't even use the Canadian phrase for Z either.
Zed.
No, I had to say it for you guys.
I know.
ZT.
I was waiting to hear the Zed. I was waiting to hear Zed, man.
Yep, the Zeds and H's.
Right.
And soldering.
Yeah, so I think you guys are, I don't know, I've never really seen what it's like from the opposite spectrum for the price, but for Canadian, I think it's just over around $20 for a motor.
Yeah, it's coming up in US dollars here, so it's $20 even, just $19.99.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for the material that are in those motors, it's ridiculous. Like, look at the copper that we used. There's not, like, if you notice, there's double strand and there's single strand copper. You ever seen the difference in that, the thicker or the darker copper?
Yeah.
We use the higher quality copper. There's N55 magnets. When Joshua Bardwell did Product Roundup, he was going over the material and he's like, okay, NSK, I know NSK bearings. And then he's like, N55 magnets. He's like, what is that? I don't even think that exists. And then I looked it up and
N55 magnets in their flow motors as well.
They do. So I sent him a screenshot of it and pretty much essentially said, Google description, like dictionary description of N55s was highest quality magnets that can be used in manufacturing to date.
Yeah.
So right when he saw that, he's like, all right, well, that speaks for itself, right? And because we're putting these materials in, it would be anticipated or expected that there's going to be some ridiculous price, right?
Well,
Total
it
opposite.
usually would. It would be a tiered price usually, but for as with the flow motors and a few others that use those higher quality parts, sometimes they are cheap because the flow motors had that buy 10 for 100 deal at one point.
That's true.
Like, so I like when companies don't gouge.
Oh, that's definitely important, especially
Yeah,
if you're looking to make a good customer base or have relationships with people
yeah, and
or have
T-Motor and
people.
Access Flying use them as well, apparently.
Yep.
So,
I just didn't.
and
That's what I mean. I didn't want to throw any companies under and be like, yeah, these companies don't use them.
yeah,
And
oh, exactly. Now we have somebody in the comments here. First off, Jimmy says, "Cool deal, Dan. You better get ready," which means Jimmy's gonna buy a set when they come out again, and I'm gonna build his new drone. So Tuda FPV is Chris Tudor, and he is an epic 3D pilot.
he really
Um,
is. That guy's
he
nuts.
Yeah, he's epic 3D pilot, and he's saying, "Man, I need to get some of those dad motors. Shit, I need some specific motors. Sorry about my stutter. 2108 possibly. How now? A
Oh.
question for your motors: have you tried them on 3D yet?
No, I haven't, but my knowledge of 3D other than on a simulator is very limited, so I don't know if there's like a specific prop I could have to use or if I were to just throw on a 51466, is it going to work just as good, you know what I mean?
No,
Well,
Or is
you
there
need a 3D prop.
yeah, you would need like Zoe's prop or something like that.
what is the
I know
dimensions of it
GemFan
that's
makes a
different?
couple.
Is it more flat,
It's
Yeah,
just the
less
edge.
pitch?
Yeah,
I've got one.
it's
Hold
more
on, I've
flat
got
on
one.
the edges. Let me see if I can find some here.
Hey, look at that comment. Night Train FPV says they look like hype trains but better quality. Thank you, brother.
They are not Unibel though.
No, they are not Unibel. Do you know why though? I had a
No,
Probably
purpose for
because
that.
I got some
it's
Zoe
easier to
prop
hold the magnets in without Unibel.
here.
Yeah, and Unibel motors are a lot lighter and harder to spin up as fast, where a two-piece bell could be made a lot lighter. So that was the main intention. I wanted these motors to be able to spin up as fast as they could
Yeah.
without overheating, because that's going to be a major factor, right?
Hey Matt, I got Zoe's props and a GemFan LED prop right here.
Put them
So
closer to the camera. Is it flat?
it
Hold
is.
on.
So the GemFan here, put mine up. So you can see the GemFan here has that straight up curve.
That's a
Like,
514. I can tell all day.
oh yeah. So now Zoe's prop.
Oh my gosh.
So
That's
it's
like,
perfectly flat and it's bull nose.
oh, so the flat edge, almost like a Cinewoop prop, eh?
Yeah, pretty
Kinda,
much.
yeah.
So it's identical in terms of thrust on both sides.
Okay, that makes sense.
So that way, like you can use other props and you will get lift. It just won't be as clean.
Well,
So
it'll
does it
be
stay
cleaner in
flat
one
going towards
direction.
the
It'll be cleaner in one direction than in the other.
Exactly.
on the
And
on the end of
whereas
the blades, does it taper out or go
nope,
wider to the hub, or does it stay flat?
nope, stays perfectly flat.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought it would do, because that I knew that the width of the taper or how wide it
Yeah,
gets by the hub is what determines that major part of the pitch, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So you can see there's no
Yeah,
curve
that's
on
sweet.
that. So
3D definitely has me curious because I've seen a lot of Marius FPV playing around with that 3D as
yep.
well, and it got me pretty because he was spanging 3D too. So as soon as I
What's
saw
up,
that, I'm like,
man? How you
that's
doing? All right,
it's
Matt,
got
make
me
me small.
curious.
I don't have props anymore. uh
Tuda literally flies like this high off the ground when he does his 3D videos.
oh yeah, very much. So Adita, our pilot, Royal, just brought up, speaking of killer 3D pilots, my heart goes out to Zoe. Saw she was going through a tough time. Yes.
Yes, I
Bringing
watched
up
that
Zoe,
video.
guys. I posted up links to her donations line and everything, or donations link. I posted it on the Optimized Drone page, and I posted her video to try and spread the word and all that. Zoe has done so much, so incredibly much for our community in terms of like innovating motors, innovating ESCs, innovating flight controller and code, and making just innovating 3D, getting people into that, into Beast Class. She's had her hands in everything, guys. And without her knowledge and without her help and literal like inventions throughout the years, we would not be where we are in
I
this
know.
hobby. So let's just, if you do have time, or if you guys are even in the San Diego area, just to even help her move or something,
Yeah.
please help out Zoe if you can.
Yeah,
If
she
you have
physically can't lift half of the stuff that's in her house, so
exactly,
that
and
makes it
she's
hard.
like, not only is she dealing with a lot of stress issues, a lot of different stressful situation issues around her, but she has a lot of medical issues that need her constant attention. And without her constant attention and a place to live and a safe place to be, she can't take care of herself in the way she needs to.
Yeah.
And she is such an integral part to our community. I want to just reach out to our whole community and just say, if you have the ability, please help Zoe FPV.
She paved the way for 3D. Like
She paved the
literally.
way for Beast Class, 3D, X Class,
Yeah.
iNav, fucking micros, everything.
I remember watching a video, I think it was like 2017. It was a Rotor Riot video with Zoe, Mr. Steele,
Was it
who else was in
Umagod
it?
was probably there?
Oh my God, and I think it was Johnny
Orca?
FPV or someone else. Yeah, there
Jeff
was a
Orta?
couple of them. Yeah, and they all tested out her quad that day, and they
Flying
were
at
freaking
3D?
out. Yeah, and they were all freaking out, like, what is going on?
I remember that one. That was one of the first 3D videos I watched as well.
Me too.
And
Yeah.
I remember trying to watch Umagod fly it in 3D.
That's what it
Hey,
was. Lidrib and Chad Capper were there too.
Yep. And oh my God, the most amazing was fucking Chad Nowak, when he fucking crashed the 3D like right off the bat. He shot it straight up, flipped it over, and just bottom out. And it was
She
like,
took it
all
like a
right,
champ
cool.
too. She's
Yeah,
like, I
and it
don't
was
care.
like, all right, cool. But Dan Sampson, I Fix Shit, also known as Drone Worship, just brought up a good thing, guys. Excuse me, when are you guys going to get monetized so I can give you some money?
I left that
would
up there
love
until
to.
you responded.
Right? I would love to. We are technically monetized. We have a Patreon set up and we have our merch store. But until we get 1,000 subs on YouTube, guys, we're not going to be monetized at all. We're at, I think, around 500 maybe. I don't even know
I know
anymore.
that feeling. Same here.
But
yeah, we were in the mid 300s last time I looked. We are at
we got a bunch-
525. Dan,
we're at 545.
525.
Oh, damn. Well,
So
thank you
smash
guys
that
for
like
getting
button,
us to
subscribe if
500.
you haven't, please.
I
Right?
admire the natural hustle of a lot of pilots these days. However, there's a lot out there that are paying for
Look how young Steele looks.
subs
Dude.
and whatnot.
His mustache was the OG style back what was
Oh,
listed
yeah.
on his motors.
The actual twist to it.
Right? Exactly. The wax. Oh, Sharpoo, I miss that man so much.
This is
Dude,
when OG the Rotor Riot was at its purest.
Dude, there's Zoe. We have no audio, by the way, Matt.
Oh,
Tommy's,
it's a memory just watching it.
Tommy's doing fucking awesome with Deadliest
Oh, look at
Catch.
her. Look at
Dude.
it. Oh.
Dude, did you see recently when she challenged Vanover to an upside down race and a 3D race? It was amazing.
Yeah. Look at that camera where it's mounted.
Right? Dude, Matt, this would have been the perfect setting for the Nemesis OG with the sunken GoPro mount.
Yeah.
For Zoe to fly super low 3D.
Yeah,
That
she's
would have been
legit
the
the
perfect
3D OG.
Oh,
Yeah, Blizzard FPV says Rotor Riot is lame now. I partially agree with that. I think that it's lost its flavor. It's not the way it used to be. I think it's more buy
I
this, buy
agree.
that every single episode, and it's not look at what we're presenting you. This is what's going to get you into this hobby. That's what it
Yeah,
was in the beginning.
and I fully agree with that, man. And like I've been friends with Chad Capper and a bunch of the original members for a while, but it's it's changed, and I'm still friends with all the new Rotor Riot folks, but and we have Stacy and Bubby and Erod and all them pop onto our show all the fucking time. But they it's changed. And after Chad let Drew and Red Cat and all that take over,
Props off
they
says
changed
Red
the
Cat.
format. They changed the
Right.
format. And
Yeah.
changing a format will always come with risks, especially in something like YouTube, where that's your main domain, and a lot of people are very opinionated about change.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I
So,
mean, Rotor Riot still does a lot of stuff for the industry and a lot of stuff for newbies.
100%.
But yeah, it's the atmosphere's changed definitely.
I
It
think they got
did.
to go back to the old ways and focus more on the old tutorial videos. Do you remember those?
Yeah.
That's where
Well, I
I
mean,
really stuck to Rotor Riot was the especially the Rubik's Cube video, the old Rubik's Cube video.
yeah, my son was trying to get me to do some startup level tutorial stuff. But maybe I feel like it's overdone. There's plenty of people that have done a really good job at creating those type of videos, and there hasn't been too much changed, since those videos came out. I mean, I know people probably don't go to Blue Falcon as much anymore, but shit, I used to go to him all the freaking time.
Dude, I
And then
Blue
miss
Falcon, Project Blue.
JC.
yeah, and usually if there's something new that comes out, Bardwell's a go-to because he's usually one of the first people to test it and do a tutorial on it.
I
It's
still,
it's
dude,
a
I still got my Project Blue Falcon and JC Memorial stickers on my truck. Like,
I used
I
to go
love
to
Project
Project
Blue
Blue
Falcon.
Falcon for the XM Plus and RSXR receivers for how to bind those and how to set those things up.
Yep, and that's the thing. Like, I watched him and Bardwell and a bunch of flight tests and all their tutorials for most of it. Like, and I still have a couple JC Memorial stickers around, but man, JC Culpepper is great. We helped with the
we built his
Lino
brother a quad.
Centurion that Aaron and Trevor and Sean and all those guys did for Matt Culpepper, JC's brother. So it was a beautiful tribute, but it was very heart wrenching too because everybody cried.
Well, so Danish, I mean, I don't disagree. Rotor Riot, I mean, they're obviously still relevant. I'm not arguing against that fact. I'm just saying they don't do as much stuff specifically for newbies anymore.
That's what I was
But,
getting at
but
as
Rotor
well.
Riot is definitely one of the first groups that new people into the hobby see. They're one of the predominant stores. They're one of the predominant brands out there that people first see when they get into the sport. I agree, but as far as tailoring content for people that are new to FPV, they don't do that anymore.
I can't. They did have those videos teaching people how to fly the new DJI drone, but that's tailored to a drone that's $1,600 to $1,800, I think, when it first came out Canadian. So
right.
it's a little bit out of reach, right?
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I can't say anything negative in the sense of that, though, because two of my favorite pilots are on Rotor Riot right now. So Bubby is an insane pilot.
Oh, 100%.
Like
Yeah, Bubby's awesome.
absolutely insane. And PDevX is a monster. Both of those pilots are insane. Like Canadian, eh? Yeah, I'm Canadian. I make it too obvious. I don't even realize that I do it. Yeah, full package DJI was like $1,700. I remember it because I looked at it and I was like, "Is that doesn't seem worth it to me?" Because especially being made out of plastic, that had me concerned right away.
Yeah, I mean, here in America, I think it was like 1,200 or something like that.
Yeah,
Probably
must
closer
be
to
nice.
1,400 if you get the Flymore kit.
I saw someone post today that they grabbed the Speedy Bee stack for $70. You know how much the Speedy Bee stack is Canadian? 120.
Ouch.
Yeah, oh, our prices are way different, and the Canadian dollar seems to keep going down. It makes me want to go get a job in the US, work for like a couple years, and then
Hey,
just come back here.
I tell you what, our inflation right now is no joke either. So it's
Yeah.
You
yeah,
guys, you guys pay for healthcare too, don't you? I don't pay for
yeah.
Yeah.
healthcare.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, yeah, the thing is, I was there when the dollar in Canada was pretty much the equivalent of 50 cents American, you know? Like,
Mhm.
it was horrible, but it's gotten a lot better since.
I thought the
It's
wife was
not it's
pooping.
not good, but you guys get paid more than Americans generally do in terms of like just general minimum wage and labor and that
I
sort of
think
stuff.
that's true. Well, what's your minimum wage? Ours is like 15 something.
Ours is
Oh,
like
seven.
$8 at the most.
It's like 750 right now, and then for
No,
government contractors, it's 1050.
Yep.
you're joking.
No.
Nope. Minimum wage
Okay, well
salary.
then,
But now most people cannot hire anybody for less than 14 to 15 bucks an hour. And that's what almost all the jobs are pretty much hiring at. So I mean, it's the industry has almost set its own minimum wage because people just won't take less because they need
Yeah,
more money to
but
yeah.
survive. So,
it
but it's
it does
not
suck.
regulated by law
If
or
you're working
mandated
like
by
a
law.
minimum wage job for say 40 hours a week or whatever, then that's a salary of around $20,000 to $25,000 a year. That's not enough to live off of, especially not with
No,
rent.
God, no.
Yeah, the
I,
inflation's what's kicking our ass right now. Kicking my ass specifically just because inflation's gone up 10% for 2 years in a row, and it was like
at
six
least,
percent the year before, and the pay just can't keep up with it. So
yeah.
having to take a pay cut every year and readjust your
I'm
income every
we're
year.
paying twice as much for fucking milk and groceries and just everything. Twice as
Man,
much, at least.
So I guess it kind of levels out where we're making 15 an hour, you're making 10 something an hour, your dollar's like $5. Yeah, I was gonna say it
Yeah.
equals out where you're making out as much as you'd be making the same as we would essentially.
And you
yeah,
guys got far less
I think we're at
taxation.
like it's like $1.36 US for Canadian dollar. I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Minimum wage jobs for people who have minimum amount of
It's a
skills.
dollar thirty.
Anyone
It's a
in
dollar
trade industry can
37
make good
right
money.
now.
Yeah, that's
So
true. Don't welders, anybody that's welding or anything like that, generally, and like a trade, an auto mechanic, something like that, they're making like $50 an hour, aren't they?
Yeah. Marcel, he's in Ontario. Yeah. Marcel's in Vancouver.
Yeah, James Burnquist, I'm in Ontario.
Yeah.
Milk has went down.
Yeah.
That's about it.
well, I think milk went down in Florida because that's not something that people buy when they prep, and there was a whole bunch still in the stores. So now that the stores are open, they got to get rid of stuff before it expires.
Milk is 5.50 in Canada. Around
We're
5.50.
paying. I think we're paying like 360 a gallon or something like that.
So yeah, see, it seems about the
My
same. I always think you guys have
yeah.
it cheaper, but you really don't.
No, I'm
It just
paying
depends on how close you are to a freaking place that produces milk here. I mean, it depends on how far they got to ship it and whatnot. So
Yeah.
if you've got a big grocery store chain, usually you can get it for around 350. But yeah, a lot of the trades do really well here.
We now have Kat here in
yeah.
Vancouver. She
So
moved here in June.
Marcel is right. Kat and Rich
That's
just
awesome.
moved to Vancouver. So, and he didn't even know. I told Marcel because I tagged Kat on one of his posts about a Vancouver fly day, and I was like, oh, I bet he doesn't even know yet. So, Kat,
Hey.
I'm excited for that because I think Marcel, Kat, and Rich will all fly well together.
My exciting news. One of my buddies just sent me a screenshot. The new bus video, the bus racing video I just posted. He shared a little snippet of it on his Facebook. In just 2 hours, it's got over 2,000 views.
Nice. Damn.
Not too shabby. It's weird
Not
how just the
shabby at
strangest of
all.
videos.
Let's see. I'm trying to catch up on comments here, guys, because I haven't really paid attention. I'm a little distracted.
I know welders with their own truck who make 100 an hour. Yeah, that's true. Because welding is like either you're really good at it or you're terrible at it kind of
Oh
thing.
yeah, and that like in the film industry, dude, I was making probably anywhere between like $40 to $70 an hour. Like, and it was great. Like, I made my money. They paid us well for the work, but it's a lot different these days.
You got a big old beast class back there, don't you?
What, that?
Oh, that's a one of
X-Class?
a kind.
Yeah, that's Kronos. Hold on, I'll pull that out.
That's a one of a kind he's been slacking on. I keep telling everybody I'm not going to produce a necromancer till he gets that thing flying.
All right, well, this week is the plan. It was Josh Ingram's birthday the other day, so I have to tribute him somehow soon. So these are Matt's custom motors.
Those are serious. That's like a pop can.
It's
yeah,
a 4120.
those are big.
They're 4120, I believe, 650 kV or 600 kV.
4120.
950 maybe. I think they're 950 kV because I had it made for 6S.
Oh, that
that's what everybody
canopy
was
is
at.
crazy.
Dude, it's all
yeah, the
carbon
canopy's
cut.
tough.
That's incredible. It almost looks like a beetle or something.
Right?
Or like some sort of insect.
It's even got devil fins on it.
Yeah,
On the
that's
front,
something
yeah.
else. You made that, Gank?
No, this is
that's
the Flynoceros.
Oh, I was gonna say, geez, I've never seen this one. Why ain't you showing that beast off?
that's
That's
a one of a
got its
kind
own beast
Flynoceros, yeah.
That thing's
But
wild.
yeah, this is so when Flynoceros closed their doors, Josh Ingram, the owner of it, had only ever made one version of this and one prototype of this frame. And after he closed the doors, he had a bit of a giveaway or a raffle or whatever. And he chose Matt and I to kind of build it. And he sent it to us.
Sick.
Matt sent me the motors to put on it. He's got those same motors on his as well. And over the past year and a half or so, I've accrued all of the high-end parts I've needed for it. So I've got a Brain Radix 2 FC in there. I've got an APD 500 amp PDB setup in there.
Jesus.
I've got the T-Motor 80 amp flame that have the 120 amp burst motors or ESCs, and then those Matt's motors. And then I'm putting a Foxy or Cat 2 in it. I currently have a Cadix SDR2, but I'm putting the Foxy or Cat 2, and I've got the 1000 milliwatt Pro 32 TBS.
Oh, that's more than enough.
Oh yeah, dude, the thing's gonna fucking rocket. And I've got some custom props from Taro that I had laying around from my last stint with Taro. So
Well, are you using carbon props on it?
no, I'm using carbon nylon foldable props because I haven't found any 14-inch beast class props that I like yet.
I was gonna say that thing would be crazy with some bi-blade props, eh?
I have
Big old
I have the tri-blade foldable Taro props, which are a custom job that they did for my giant octocopter many years ago. Because the stock ones were biblades. And they were the foldable biblade ones for the giant cinema drones.
Yeah.
And I needed tri-blades because I needed an extra lift. And so I was already working on a little 3-inch race frame with them. So I decided, to just see what they could do. And they had a little bracket that they did with aluminum, I believe, that made and they sent me a bunch of the extra little inserts so that it would make the biblades into tri-blades, pretty much. So it works, but they're not the sturdiest in terms of freestyle. They're more for cinematography because they're super smooth.
Yeah.
But I'm worried about doing a power loop or something with them, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking for some good 14 to 15-inch props for it.
That's one category I've known nothing about.
Me neither, and I'd like to... So he's pulling up Danish Stallion's hurricane video. Danish Stallion is one of our pilots in Florida, and he is team optimized drone extraordinaire.
He's showing his pride right now.
He is.
Danish pride. That's awesome.
Yeah, I was snapping through some of our pilot videos and I saw that and I had to share that one. But we've got Vitrafly here also with his FPVDad motors.
Yeah, he's an amazing pilot.
Dude, he really is. And dude, so everybody sees his videos from his cameras and all that. He rarely ever posts DVR, but I've legit been in the goggles watching him fly like this, and it's mind-bending.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my brain cannot keep up. Every time I'm like, holy shit, you're gonna crash. He does like a Matty flip through it. And I'm like, what the shit just happened? And I cannot keep up while he's actually flying. His videos I can watch and just be like, this is elegant and beautiful. But in the goggles, I'm too nervous for him, like, while standing next to him.
Another thing I admire.
His reactions of like, ooh, cut that one close and shit like that.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say, another thing I admire is the fact that I don't think he uses stabilization either. He's just natural with it. Which you can see a lot of those faster jerks and movements a lot better.
Dude, I find myself too. I don't think there's any stabilization software that can keep up with his gyro data.
No, there isn't.
No, I don't like Hypersmooth either because I find Hypersmooth gives too much of a fisheye when Spang needs to be able to see those fast movements, right?
Dude, he's even Vitrafly is saying, bro, Tuda is so good. Damn
yeah,
right.
Tuda is good.
Oh, Tuda, it's so good. But Tuda is so good, yes.
I was going to say Tuda is good too, though.
I'd like to see Vitrafly try some 3D flying. That would
I'm
be
sure
insane.
He's probably already, unless he maybe just a simulator guy like me so far. No stabilization, attaboy.
Uh-oh, Jimmy tells me I need to wake up. What do I need to wake up for? What do I need to do? I think I've had coffee.
We got to get you to do a stick cam video, Vitrafly. Oh, congrats on the sponsorship, by the way.
Yes, congrats, man. Axis Flying just sponsored Vitrafly. So congrats,
that's much deserved.
Man. That's wicked. Very, very well deserved. I've been pushing him on Axis for a little while now. He's a very worthwhile pilot to get that, and it's very well deserved. And congrats on over 1,000 subs too, dude.
Yeah, that's a milestone and a half.
Right? Especially in our community these days, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
it takes
the
time.
only people with over 1,000 or 2,000 are the ones buying subs, it seems.
Hey, Tuda says he'll help me set up a 3D quad. I need
Fuck
to.
yeah.
I want to see if I could do it with my
Fuck
own
yeah.
motors too. Like just use my own motors and throw on the right prop.
Yeah, Jimmy, we've got some hardcore weather. I was driving up to DC yesterday and just caught the tail end of the big storm. It was a mess, dude. Our marina was all flooded and shit. Like, it was a mess.
Here's another team pilot. I can't believe these guys were jumping inside this freaking arena, man.
Dude,
so damn.
They were so close to those girders.
Almost
I can't believe they did mountain or fucking monster trucks in there. Even that's just sketchy as hell.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys are coming so close to that fucking beam.
They could practically kiss the support beams as they're going by.
I'm waiting to see one of them with like a helmet GoPro on, and that GoPro.
Oh, do you see the freaking head chopper right there above the landing ramp too? The freaking big ass fan.
Jeez, there's some really good footage.
Yeah, dude, Billy Barrett's freaking awesome at getting this stuff. He's been
ridiculous.
chasing vehicles for a long damn time.
Is he using a Hero 10?
I believe so, yeah.
I think I could tell that color difference because I'm all Hero 8, so anything more than a Hero 8, I can tell the difference apparently.
I think Billy might be our most recent addition to the Team Optimized drone roster.
Yeah, Billy, I've been in contact with Billy since 2018 or 2019. He was one of
Dude, we've been following him for a while.
Yeah, Billy helped me test one of my first freestyle frame.
Hey, Thrill Billy!
There he is. Black bones, he says.
Talking about you, bro.
Oh, so Hero 10. Yeah, you could tell.
Yeah, black bones.
The color on it is really nice.
Really nice, though.
The lighting's perfect for the scenario.
So I got a jet in about 15 or so minutes, guys. But before we close out, we're gonna watch probably a couple more videos. Keagan, is there anything else that you would like to promote or like to talk about with your motors or anything else you got going
on? No, not too much. I dropped a new video today. Other than that, I just hope that the community likes these motors. That's my main, that's the main goal, right?
So far, from what I've seen from the people that have bought them, they're very, very, very enjoyable. So
I hope to see them get out there more as all, I guess, eventually, but that's something that happens with time, right?
Have you had any common issues with any of them, or has it just been like a broken motor here and there?
No, I've had two people message me. One person said they had a flyaway, and that part kind of freaked me out because I've never heard of that happening with these motors, and to be honest, they've worked perfect from me for day one.
The only thing that ESP issue.
Yeah, and they said that they might have had a bad RX, which could have done it as well, right?
Yeah.
As soon as that receiver loses connection, she's gone.
Well, yeah, if you don't have your failsafe set.
Yeah, if they haven't set up failsafe. So that happened, and someone, Vitrafly, he lost a motor, but it was because of not long enough screws, right? So the next batch of motors that we're doing right now, and from this point on forward, I'm sending all motors with M3x8 motor screws.
Okay.
Because I've also had to, I don't know why I didn't think of it myself, but all my frames have 6mm arms. And
Matt's have a pretty thick arms too.
Well, I'm on most of mine's on 5mm, but my Necromancer's got some 6 and 8mm. So
yeah, and the 5-inch the screws will work for a 5-inch drone, but it just goes into the bottom of the motor, so you're just kind of clinging on there by like 0.5 millimeter of thread, right?
Yeah,
which is pretty sketchy.
6mm screws are short.
We got Night Train in the house. We got Jeff PV in the house. We got Thrill Billy. We got Private Island. What's up, Private Island? How you doing, John?
This is such a dope spot.
Really is.
Yeah, this is Florida.
Right now?
This is Captain Colin.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I shared all of our team's YouTubes in the chat there.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm just seeing if I missed anybody in the comments that I haven't said hi to yet.
Yeah, I try to hit up all of our team members to see if they've got new videos for the week and play them.
Yeah, and I had a bunch of them putting out Gank videos for you soon, hopefully.
I'd love to try out a Gank race frame. I saw someone mention that there's a Gank frame for racing. You got a 5-inch frame now?
Yeah,
I've had them actually. Yeah, the ass bracer is freaking quick as shit. And then we got a prototype that Jeff is testing.
Ooh.
And I don't have too many prototypes unfortunately to share because I had to spend a pretty penny to get the prototype's got aluminum arm lock plate on it, and it cost me like freaking it's like 20 something bucks per a piece to have them made.
Oh yeah, I don't want it for free. I was looking to grab
well, no,
one.
I just didn't. I didn't have that many made. I think I only made.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
for the prototype testing.
And he sold a bunch at West Coast Throwdown too, I think.
Well, I didn't sell any of those. Not the prototypes. I had just gotten those. Like Wes and Jeff didn't even get theirs until after I got back from West Coast Throwdown.
Oh yeah, true. I had one of the 3-inch racers, but I smashed the fuck out of that thing. That thing was a crumbling heap by the time it was done. I broke everything. I've always flown his freestyle frames mainly. And
here is this is the 5-inch prototype here.
Yeah.
So
sick. it's got an aluminum arm block plate in the front and one screw arm replacement. So just a single screw to pull that arm out.
Oh, it's a unibody frame.
Well, and not really. I mean, it's got these the aluminum arm plate in the front and in the rear. And then it's got a 3 mil carbon plate underneath it. And then there's a 2 mil carbon plate that the FC sits on.
Yeah, I couldn't see it at first. It looked like from the bottom, like it was just a unibody almost.
Yeah, no, it's easy swap.
Oh, okay, I see it now.
Arms. And then my ass bracer, where's it at? This is the 5-inch asp. It's all carbon. This one weighs about 69 grams dry weight, but there's so much build space in it, it's ridiculous.
So that was the ultimate goal was ridiculously light?
Well, I mean, 69 grams is on par with most of the other race frames out there. I just made it big.
Just to have space.
Well, yeah, build space is definitely a thing. And this one will fit a 30 by 30 or 20 by 20 stack. And actually the new one will too, depending on the 30 by 30. It's got enough room for it. It'll be tight.
What motors you got on there?
So these are motors that I had. So I used to work with Hawk Sky and helping them improve their motors back in the day. And the original ones that we came out with were, I've got a quad with them on here somewhere. Here we go. Way up.
Nice,
They almost look like the RVS churners.
Trying to. I don't know if I can reach it. It's way the fuck.
Matt's got a lot of good, cool Hawk Sky motors laying around.
Here we go. We had when Hawk Sky first started getting into FPV motors. Now they'd made a ton of agricultural drone motors.
Yes, that's how I knew them too, because I was doing the Giants at that point, man. I was building the Giants, so I knew Hawk Sky, Taro, fucking Gart.
So when I started talking to my friend Keaton and I started talking to one of the sales ladies from Hawk Sky and asked her if we could get some custom motors made, and we ended up getting these.
Oh, those are cool. I like the ribs in it. That's interesting.
Yeah. And then we got those, and we ordered 50 sets or 50 or 60 sets, and about a third of them started having noisy bearings pretty quick, and I started talking to them about it, and they ended up replacing the whole batch for us.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah.
So now
Well,
you
I mean,
got.
I just talked to the lady for a long time, and I was kind of explaining to her how, what how my company does business that way. The company that I work for, not the frame company.
Mm-hmm.
But she sent us replacement motors for all of them. So all the guys that ordered the motors got replacement motors, and they were freaking awesome. We upgraded the bearings, we upgraded the shaft, and then after that, I gave them some suggestions to improve the durability, but also the looks, because the top bell was kind of plain. So we came out with these. Right, so they're titanium shaft. They've still got the little rib on the side.
Yeah.
And I ended up having to make me, I think it was 30 or 40 of the 2306 2400 kV, because that's my go-to motor. And I've been
Before
racing them. I have that same set of motors from 3 years ago, and the only ones that I burnt out are ones when I've tried to aggressively turtle mode out of a tree, or dig myself into the dirt, and I just keep trying to turtle in a race. I'm like, God, give up, instead of
Yeah.
just stopping and giving up. But other than that, I haven't had any issues with them at all. I had one damaged bell from IO in 2019 because they were using metal gate poles out there, and I smashed into one pretty hard. But that was the only one that's died from physical damage. So, but then. But when I had the shiny silver motors made, we started posting them all over the place, and apparently they got 20,000 some odd motor sales out of us posting around. So I made good friends with them, and then then I had to make the X class motors. I've got currently on my Mutiny V2 Freestyle quad. I've got a set of 2208 2200 kV that I'm running on 5S and 6 or 4S and 5S. They're really nice. Makes for a nice cruise motor for my 6-inch quad. And when I run it on 5S, it's fucking goes aggressive like that. Hey. It's super nice.
No doubt.
But yeah, they were really good at listening to my inputs. They changed the designs of the motors. The only motor I didn't get them to remake was the 1508. So they made a 1508 3 years ago, and they were just a bit too notchy, and I wanted them to change the gap, the magnet gap, to increase it just a hair. If you get outside of the where the flux from the electromagnet that you're creating and the actual magnets, if you get into where those they're not crossing at the optimum angles, it makes a motor super notchy. It makes them kind of hard to tune sometimes too. Yeah, I worked with them to get all that done, and then COVID hit, and they shut down the motor operations because there's too many people. And they stuck. Right now, they're still doing aluminum machining, but they're doing custom motors again. So I'm trying to get some custom motors made from them as well. I'm kind of hoping that my tax return from this year gives me a nice little, or from last year rather. Because I'm still waiting on it to get done.
Jimmy, I'm always ready, man. You know that.
Yeah. I'm hoping my tax return is nice and fat, and then I can use that to have some motors made. I want to get some custom motors for my micro frames.
Yes, I agree, dude. 1105s or 1107s is my.
Well, Hawksky already makes 1107s, and I have some here, and they're freaking great motors. They just need a new bell design.
Yeah, dude, those are my sweet spot for my ultralights, because I like to do the 3-inch ultralights with the 11 series motors, because I did a couple of ultralights that were your Gank ones, the Nemesis ones, that were running 2S. That's the Skya. Yeah, we.
Yeah. So this is my webpage. That's the Skya hexacopter.
Thank you, James, by the way.
So I've got 2 different hexacopter designs.
Oh, that thing's sweet. It's really low
So
profile too, eh?
yeah, 20
Yeah,
mil tall, 20 mil tall.
I helped test
And it'll
one.
carry a freaking full hero. So let me see here. Change back.
What are you using?
Dude, it
1404s
rips
on
with
it?
an Insta on it. It rips
So
with 360
yes,
build on it.
so this is the Skya Hex, the first one
Yep.
that I made. It's kind of, the motors aren't spaced evenly, but it was made for more for just zipping around and racing. And
That
then I had
thing's sick.
yeah. Then I had a buddy that says, "Hey man, you got something small with propeller protectors that'll carry a hero?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, this." So I'm using Axis Flying 1404 and a half, 4510 kV, and we're flying it on 4S.
Yeah.
So and then so Gil Coronado, I don't know if you remember him or not. He's one of the season 1 or 2 DRL race guys.
Yeah.
He lives around the corner from me. He's a friend of mine from when I first started getting into flying. But he flew the Skya for a video shoot for a Dell commercial, and he gave me some input on it, and then I created the Cinehex, which the back motors are more evenly spaced. I stretched out the back. We lengthened the top plate in the back so we can
Ooh.
mount the battery to way in the back to offset the weight of the GoPro in the front.
What
And
ducts are you using on it?
these are
Did
the
you
King
injection
Kong.
mold those?
These are King Kong 3-inch ducts.
Yeah. The other
It
ones are
looks super
HPLRP.
clean.
Yeah, they're injection molded.
Matt, I just sent you the link to my 3PV video of this guy.
I am on beta flight on both of those. Actually,
And
on
by the
everything.
way,
I don't have
thank you,
anything to not have.
James. Thank you, James Burquest. I didn't want to interrupt Gank when he was talking. I appreciate your support. He says he's going to buy no more Mr. Steel motors, Dad motors from now on.
Yep.
Yeah, I've
Hey.
got a rig with the Mr. Steel motors right here, and I gotta build it up.
So
Them
yeah, I've got
overpriced steel motors.
Right?
yeah, I've got quite a few different, like the micro frames. I've got these freestyle micros, the 3-inch, 3.5-inch, and the 4-inch.
Hey Matt, I just sent you a link to my 3PV video of the Skya to show Keagan.
Do you have a frame that's similar to a baby tooth that I can do a 1S like 1002
Yeah,
kind of frame?
he has a Nemesis V2.
Because I want to, if you can stray me away from this and
Here's
lead
the
me to a
Nemesis
Gank frame.
V2.
I don't know if I've got any of the 2.5-inch left.
What about
But
the 3
2.5.
inch?
The 3-inch I
What
definitely
about a
have.
3-inch?
Hey
3
Matt,
inch is nice.
blow
I
up my
wouldn't mind
screen.
going smaller.
I've got the V2 right here.
So that's the 2.5-inch. That's what I originally started out with, and I made like myself 2 3-inch copies.
This is the 3 inch.
And the 3-inch is like by far outsold the 2.5.
Oh yeah.
2.5.
This is the wider 3 inch though. Yeah. Make my screen big, Matt.
That thing looks. I was gonna say that thing looks sweet so far. Is it? Does it? Did you paint it pink or something?
Yeah, I painted it, and I've. Oh, sorry. Here we go. So yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
So this is it. I made an ultralight out of it, and I ran it on 2S, and I got 17 minutes on a lithium ion 2S of full
I see.
acro.
It's AIO, isn't it? It's for AIO setup.
He's got AIO 20x20 and 16x16 options.
Ooh, some variety.
So you can literally mount whatever you want.
Yeah.
That's sick.
So
But yeah, that's this is
I'll
the
go
3-inch.
grab Helen real quick. Hold on.
That's the new 3-inch with I put some motor protection on there so you don't bang your motors up. I put screw holes in the top plate so you can mount the Vista to the top plate instead of putting it on top of the stack if you're running DJI.
Ooh. Hey, Vitrifly says you'll love the Dad motors. Thank you, brother. I'm glad you're happy with them.
Matt, I just grabbed Helen. Make my screen big.
Jesus, X8,
Yeah.
3 inch.
Yep.
Holy.
So, and I'm gonna actually make that a kit.
Yeah.
To
You
where
can
I'll
carry a
sell stuff.
Hero 8. You can most likely carry a Hero 8 with that, not
Dude,
even naked.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
actually carried comfortably, mind you, GoPro Fusion 360. One of the big ass GoPros.
Really?
Oh, the GoPro Max.
Yeah,
the
it's
Max
like a
one,
GoPro
whatever.
Max. Where the fuck did I put it? It was just here. The one that fits in this massive fucking case.
That's nuts.
So, oh, here we go. I flew this one.
That thing's just a big potato, eh?
Dude,
Yeah.
it's a giant. It like here, hold on. This is my Hero 7 Black. This is this thing.
What's the performance of that camera like?
It's actually not bad. It's not bad at all. It's a little wonky with the fisheye.
Yeah.
I fly my 3D 360 camera that I use for VR stuff is the Vooz 3D 360, and it's 4K 8 lenses. So it's got 2 stereoscopic lenses on each side.
So
That's
this
a
is Dan's
dope board.
Insta 360 stick cam video of the
Yeah,
Skya.
this is my 3PV of the Skya flying in my yard.
That thing looks so sick. The colors of it just pop, eh?
Oh
That's
yeah,
what
the
I'm
green and the
saying.
purple.
Green and purple, baby. Green and purple all the way.
That's some Joker colors.
Yep. But yeah, this thing rips, and it does acro with all that. It's able to do power loops. It's able to do everything. It's not just for cine, and I ended up just putting ducts on it one day, just as like wonder what this would look like, and it worked. It flew great, and I was like, all right. I flew a GoPro on it for a while, and I flew my Insta 360 on it most of the time.
It's just ripping, eh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude, it's quick too.
Yeah, the biggest problem I had with my first one was not getting batteries that had a high enough discharge rate.
Yeah.
So I had a question. What's the smallest technical frame you have right now, Gank?
Uh, smallest being lightest, probably the Pixie 3-inch racer.
Or like smallest in general, like size. So like something you could almost transfer a Meteor 65 to.
We're working on it.
If I had the 2.5-inch, that would probably swap pretty well. Like I said, I just gave away the last one that I had, or last two that I had, to Brooks when I gave him his computer.
But we got a couple options for that. If you're looking, talk to William Perry of Racer X. He
William's
just
got a
came out
Twiglet.
with his new ones that would swap a 65 Meteor 65 really well.
Ooh.
It's called the mini. Is it the Twiglet?
Twiglet, yeah.
Yeah, the mini Twiglet or something like that.
can-
But talk to William Perry. He's looking for people to test fly it and stuff too. So give him a shout. I think he's usually watching, but he's probably logged off by now. Guys, I gotta call
Yeah,
it a
definitely
night.
give him a shot. Me too. I can hear the newborn like freaking out in the background, and the wife keeps looking at me through the glass door. She's giving me these eyes.
I know the feeling. I know the feeling. But tune in next week. Hopefully, we're gonna try and set up an artist spotlight for our community and have such artists like Billy Black or Artistic FPV.
There's a pixie. That thing's sweet.
Oh, dude, the Pixie's epic. That's the one I smashed really hard.
And I got a canopy for it too.
Oh, it looks even prettier when it's all done up, eh?
But so, guys, definitely tune in next week, and we'll have some awesome music as well as some awesome artwork done by our community showcasing. So
I
definitely
appreciate
check
both
that
of
out.
you having me out. Thank you so much. I had a
Yeah,
good
dude,
time.
we appreciate you
Night.
coming on because I've been, as you noticed, I've been interested in these motors for a little while. So, and I know now Jimmy is too. Gotta love
this
crazy
is the
Jimmy. I love that man.
this is the Pixie with 4-inch arms, 3-inch props.
Oh, so that's like a little personal project, eh? A little side
Oh
project.
yeah. Well, I've got a 4-inch Pixie on the side. I sold out of them. I didn't think they were going to sell as well as they did.
Oh,
It's
hey,
got that
Matt.
wishbone design, eh?
Yeah,
Matt,
so
here.
they're boomerang arms. So the front two and the rear two are replaceable together.
I
I
love
don't know if
that.
you can see it from the front,
Matt, those
yeah,
What do you
there's
got?
the
Like,
sandwich plate.
is that 4mm or 3mm?
These are 4 mil arms,
Whew, that's
and
a
it's
Matt,
tough,
still
tough little.
this thing is still under 180 gram or 190 grams with the battery.
pull up
That's
the pictures
beast.
that I just sent you. William just sent me pictures of the Twiglet and the mini Twiglet. Or the mini Twig. There you go, Keegan.
Oh, that's what I'm after. Something like
How'd
that
that
would
one?
be fun because I really want to be able to take one of my Meteor 65s and just transfer it over to something. Now I've got no ducks and bigger props.
Right?
I think
And
that's
that's a
pretty
carbon
sweet.
fiber frame, so that like you could pull the ducts off that and not worry about
Yeah, so I don't need those ducks technically. Yeah.
it. Exactly. Can we get a
I want
link
a
to
little
Dad's
backyard
page?
ripper.
Matt, Night Train's asking for a link to Dad's page.
To the hold on.
To the motors or to the, we can't find his channel easily.
To the dad's page. I
Your
am
YouTube
UFO.
channel link.
There's the website for the motors.
Awesome. And then I'm definitely gonna have to call it a night. But yeah, dude, thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we had a blast, and as you know, like if you ever want to come on or you ever come out with anything new or want to update anything, just let us know, and we'd be happy to have you on again.
And there is
Thank you
FPV
so
Dad,
much.
the FPV Dad's YouTube channel. You have to have the in front of it,
Yes,
otherwise it won't
the
show.
FPVDad.
It's not official without the.
Exactly, exactly. And that's why all of us other dads in FPV just get called FPV dads. Because it's like the Highlander. There can be only one.
Well, then I
We're
get called
close.
FPV Grandpa, so yeah.
Right? I get called FPV Jesus far too much, man.
Tuda says I haven't came to the dark side yet.
Oh,
Is dark
dude,
side 3D?
like this is why. I've got like just extraordinary.
FPV Jesus over here.
Oh yeah, but yeah. So, dude, thank you so much for coming on, and I'd love to hear updates on when you get new stock and all that, and I'd happily post it all up on the optimized drone page and all that too. So definitely keep us posted.
Boys. Much love.
Awesome. Have a good night, everybody.
Have an awesome night.
All right, talk to you later, guys. All right, thanks for stopping in.
Later.